Aging gracefully is not just about genetics, but it has to do with the routine, the daily rituals, the daily things that you do to yourself. But you can also change or prolong the onset of certain conditions. Genetics is important and it is kind of like a blueprint, but it is not your destiny. I often say that when I do a skin check, I can often read a person's life and understand like what sort of life they have led and whether they have cared for themselves, whether they've looked after themselves. Gone are those days when you actually only look at your genetics and think that, okay, I will have these things because parents have got these things. Now it's not limited to the genetics, but also to what you eat, what you put into yourself, how you look after yourself, the environment that you're in, and the stressors and everything together. So you are what you are, and how you age is dependent not just on genetics, but also dependent on you. Welcome to Daily Dose with Dr. Tanya. We're going to talk everything about health, wellness, beauty, and things between. As a doctor, as a mother, and an entrepreneur who is a founder of a skin brand, I have a lot to share and talk to you. Each week, we will look into certain topics and we will discuss in depth, honest discussions with the leading experts and gain practical steps and tips so that you can live well, age well, and be happy and glow from within. So from skincare to self-care, from hormones to hustle, this is your space where you will have real conversation, real results for real people. So let's get started.
Is our health future written in our DNA, or can daily habits change the course?
It's a bit of both. Okay. Yes, you're programmed in certain way, and you are programmed with certain conditions and certain life expectancies and all that. But you can also change or prolong the onset of certain conditions, or actually even escape from having those conditions if you do daily things properly, if you set your habits correctly, if your routine is in order, your lifestyle is in order, you can really redo the whole way that you could have ended up. Genetics is important, and it is kind of like a blueprint, if you like, but it is not your destiny, because your destiny is dependent on the choices that you make voluntarily, meaning to say your lifestyle choices, your daily routines, including what you put inside your body, what you apply, how hydrated you are, the life you're leading, like is it stressful, what sort of environment that you are in, you're smoking or not smoking. So those are the factors, the random choices that you would voluntarily make to help yourself so that the genetic blueprint doesn't become your destiny. So coming back to the point, if your mother has wrinkles, there are chances that you could end up having those wrinkles, but you can alter, you can try and deviate from that. You can change the destiny, making the right choices.
Why does our skin wrinkle as we age?
There are so many factors. Okay. Wrinkling, the first thing is aging, chronological age, normal process of aging. It is also dependent on, yes, genetics, but it is also dependent on more things like your lifestyle choices, including your diet, whether you smoke, what sort of environment you're living, what sort of lifestyle, sleep, routine, hydration levels, etc. And adding on to that, your skin products also has a major role to play in your skin aging process, especially wrinkle formation.
Our family history shape our risks.
It's very, very, very relevant, because it's kind of like a prediction on what problems you're more prone towards, but definitely not your destiny. So, family history of certain conditions, particularly like hypertension, cholesterol issues, cardiac risk, are very important in determining your risk factor for any cardiac attacks, heart attacks, myocardial infarction, things like that. So, in those aspects, it becomes very relevant because you want to identify those risk factors quickly and reduce your risk. In largely speaking, it need not be your destiny, because it is also influenced by how you live. So if you are eating well and if your lifestyle is very controlled, you can actually prolong the onset of certain conditions like diabetes and cholesterol control, and things like that can happen.
What is in our control?
Your choices, the random choices that you make is within your control. The genetics may not be under your control, but certainly your lifestyle choices is within your control. So having a stress-free environment, creating that, because you can prioritize your life based on the kind of life that you want to lead, stress-free life, because that has got a lot to do with your body inflammation, and the risk factors can increase as well. So lifestyle choice is important. Exercising regularly is important. Hydrating yourself is important. And also making sure that you don't smoke and drink excessively. Those are the right choices, which is in your control. Chronic stress is one of the biggest issues that we face, and a person who has got chronic stress, you can tell by looking at on their face and their skin. And I often say that when I do a skin check, I can often read a person's life and understand like what sort of life they have led, and whether they have cared for themselves, whether they've looked after themselves. Because if someone's under chronic stress, the skin becomes dehydrated, and it can look dull, and signs of aging sets in quicker as a result. The hair thinning happens. So all of those things that you would see as signs of aging, that comes early, unfortunately, when someone's suffering from chronic stress. So loss of volume, sleepless night can contribute to that. The dark circles under the eye, the dehydrated skin, the thinning of hair because of hair fall, which is aggravated by stress. So yeah, if I start naming this, I will have a long list, but to cut the story short, chronic stress is very important factor in contributing to aging.
What role does mental health play in overall health and age?
I love this question. Mental health is everything. There is no point in doing everything and trying to work things out. If your mental health isn't right, it's going to disrupt everything. I'll explain. With your right mind, with your right mindset, you are then able to make the right choices. And the right choices is important. So if you've got clarity in your mind, you will make the right choices about your lifestyle, your exercise, your diet, and how you live. You take the right choices of not smoking and not drinking excessively and looking after yourself and loving yourself. That sets certain routine. But if your mental health is shaken, then you are going through chronic stress, and that reflects in everything. So the choices that you make is going to determine your destiny. So although genetics is there, if you have clarity of mind and if your mental health is good, you make the right choices. Genetics that you may have, the risk can be reduced. But if your mental health isn't good, the choices are not going to be right, and you will end up having all the risk factors, and you will age, unfortunately, a lot quicker than people without any mental health issues.
3 daily habits that can really change the game.
3 daily habits that really going to change your game. Sleep, number 1, drinking enough water, and making yourself the priority every day. So sleep is very important because your brain needs enough time to rest and regenerate. The skin needs that much of to repair itself. And the water is so essential for every single part of your body. And making yourself priority, meaning you're going to think about what are your tasks for the day. And instead of overburdening yourself with multiple things, you're going to prioritize. And that way, when you prioritize, you are then looking after your mental health. And when your mental health is right, everything else falls into place.